welcome back to the second half of Fated Worlds Ghost Echo. Alright.
I'm the echo. You're the ghost, I'm the echo.
Okay.
Sounds like an insult for some reason. One of those like childish comebacks.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm the echo, you're the ghost.
No,
So-
I am the echo.
Yeah.
Whenever you say goes through me and comes back through you, I don't know.
I don't
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, so we're in a basement. We're at the edge of Sing's sludge pit. And there is a ladder before you that leads to the floors above. What do? You've just suffered through some major burning. And Demon has seen better days. But yeah, you're all looking hot. What do you do?
And I'm still stuck below, right?
I think the danger is gone at this point. I think you just like waited out the fire.
Oh, okay.
Well,
So- It's just a slight incline. But
I'm very sensually leaning into fiction, but other than that, I don't think I'm able to do very much.
You're doing enough and fine, babe.
So I'm not particularly medically inclined. That's not my strong suit. But I could give you a shot of adrenaline. Might help.
Yeah, give me some of the good stuff. And you can tell that she's a little, I don't even know the English word for that. You know that thing you do when you're having a very high fever and you're talking kind of nonsense?
Delusional?
she's delirious.
Or delirious.
Delirious, that's the one. She's a little delirious. She's not completely out of it, but she's just, she
Well,
doesn't really
generally
know what
fine.
she's saying or what she's responding to either way.
Hmm. Oh dear. I don't think adrenaline is the right thing to do here. I don't know.
As I said,
Hmm.
medicine is not my strong suit. But
Hmm.
what I have.
I only have something to drink.
Hmm.
I don't know. Might
I
help.
suppose that might help with the pain.
Remind me to never get hurt around these guys ever again. One has some like overly strong weird alcohol as a solution, and the other is just pumping me full of adrenaline.
I mean, it worked in Pulp Fiction.
Sure.
Sure.
It's one of those things where when your one tool is a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, I thought of a very inappropriate joke there, but I'll leave that off Twitch.
Oh no,
Um,
not that. Not an inappropriate joke.
Might get that.
Yeah, Twitch is an unspoiled child. Can't let it be tainted.
Kappa.
But it might turn bad.
So yeah, I mean it's up to you to make that call whether it's a good idea to shoot me up with adrenaline or not.
Or give you alcohol. Hmm. Do I have some water? No, probably
Wait,
not.
do you
That's
have some water?
ridiculous.
Well,
Do you have some water?
Do you have anything non-alcoholic to drink on you?
could do both. Perhaps between the two it'll even out.
Just give it a go, Shelby.
Well, I don't know. I don't they say a shot of adrenaline never hurt anybody?
Yeah, that's what
Come
they
on,
say.
saying that.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do it.
Have you been talking with Saint again?
Probably.
Well, again, I have the utmost respect for him.
I'm a big fan of his work.
Yes.
I just wouldn't try any of his stuff.
Not for me. Not anymore. Not since the incident.
So should I actually roll anything, or is this?
I don't.
Just for
I
fun.
don't think it falls under a move. You might be committing to violence.
Oh dear.
Wow.
I mean, I mean, technically, could say that you act under pressure, but I think the danger is different, and I don't think you can suffer harm from this. I mean, that would be something like transferring, like getting into trouble for
Okay,
someone
well,
else. But it's not really something. Yes, I think this is just something that you can do, and maybe like if you just do the two of them together, I think like yeah, if you feel like a bit hyped up for a moment, but then like also the alcohol kicks in, and who knows what that does. Then I think this like delirium,
Oh.
the delirium just kind of persists.
I think it might have gotten a little worse with whatever
Mm.
whatever he like put in here.
Mm.
This, yes.
well, now that you're 100%, let's get going.
It's 100% something.
100% fucked, maybe.
No, that's the old job.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, not nowhere. Okay, so yeah, do you eventually make it up the ladder? Maybe with some assistance.
I mean, yeah. Although I stop a few times
Mm.
and just stare at the wall in front of me.
I think it's a pretty nice wall.
Turn my head.
Mm.
Why is everything turning? And then I wobble a little, where you're like, is she gonna fall down or not? And then I start climbing again, very slowly and unsurely.
Yeah, I think we see the same psychedelic effect here that we saw at the very end of Burning Wind. And I remember a few people being bewitched by a wall of some sort.
I know you're having a tough time there, Demon, but TikTok.
Mm.
I really, really like your hair coil. It's so springy.
Well, yeah, I get compliments on it all the time.
Yeah, I think maybe we see like a little bit of sludge that's like stuck in Coil's head that just
Yeah.
unfurls itself and like spills down into the pit. So yeah, I think after some time, the three of you make it up, and you emerge onto like, the common floor of this little safe house that's been set up, and well, like this is like a place that Saint set up at some point to like have like a field laboratory here. They have like somewhere away from the bridge where you can experiment on your own with
Without
whatever.
everybody complaining
Mhm.
about
That's
how the
it.
whole bridge stinks like sulfur again.
Yeah, that's the smell and the explosions. Sometimes the smelly explosions. So yeah, so I think we emerge into this like very like extremely like mad scientist lab. I think we just see like large tanks definitely large enough to fit a person inside, and in some cases definitely might. I think we see that same like swirly, like, ghost field fog. It's just inside the tanks. This seems to be trapped there. I think the fog itself, otherwise, is not very present in this room.
I want to walk up to one of the tanks that is
Mhm.
filled with something at least semi-water-colored.
Mhm.
Climb up to the top.
No!
Do this.
Like, can I jump
I
in
am
between?
thirsty.
Can I stop her? Can I stop you?
What? No.
I think this falls under helping someone who's in danger.
Yeah.
I think the delirium is definitely a danger of some kind.
Yeah, okay.
This is you acting under pressure. Like, maybe we see Vixen like looking around for where this safe is supposed to be, and then we just see like in the background we just see Demon heading over to this tank. It's like
No.
it's like aquarium on the far side.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go.
It's got some
All
really
36.
weird demon sharks swimming in it.
Ooh,
Okay.
that is an interesting role.
Yeah. So you either achieve your goal, which I assume is to get Demon out of harm's way, but the danger, which is that you suffer harm, comes true, or you basically get a choice here. You either let Demon expose herself to what's in the tank, or you're gonna get hurt, for it.
Yeah, I was asking. I just stop her from doing it, but for at least one part of my body falls into the tank in the process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think we'll probably see you like reaching in to pull her away from it. And we see like you stick your arm into the goop to like pull her out.
Yeah,
pull her away from it.
Or I
pull her up. She's like,
spin
oh,
it all
baby.
over me while saving.
Yeah. And I think I was probably like looking the other direction, fiddling with my that that rangefinder device. And I turn around and go, "Well, this is going pear shaped."
Okay, so yeah, this is definitely a harm imminent, because I think we see like you pull your arm up, like, and are you wearing like a coat of some sort, or like what are you wearing at this point? Vixen.
Oh, wait, where I am at this point?
What are you wearing?
Also, I'm wearing a jacket, but I might put that over my shoulder because it was too hot with all the fire and stuff. So probably only a tank top at this point.
Okay, yeah, so it's like sleeveless stuff. Lovely.
But I mean, we're talking steampunk, so so fashion. So more importantly, who are you wearing? Just...
I mean, that sounds more gruesome than than fashionable.
Yeah, so let's see. I think we see you pull your arm out, and I think the liquid that you're now drenched in, it sort of has that like milky water like color, like water with like fog mixed in with it, and I think it's like just a little bit like slimy, like a little bit too dense. So we see it like drips like sticks under your arm, is just a little bit.
I switch my bottle of liquor immediately to the other side that is dry and drink a little bit of it before putting it away. Oh dear.
Yeah, so I think
we should probably scrape that off.
Yeah, what happens is that you feel like now that the liquid is like covering your arm, you feel that it's starting to harden. Like you can't quite move your hand like you should, and like you feel like something is like coating your arm, like locking it in place.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch that if I were you.
Oh, I wasn't going to use my hands. But I will, like, take out or if there is just like an instrument lying around that I could use that's just like a piece of metal, I'll do that. But failing that, I'll you know.
Yeah, I feel like Singh would definitely have like a hammer of some sort lying around the lab, just in case.
No hammer. No hammer.
Or like something that would be useful for breaking things. So maybe it's just like a large metal piece of something.
Don't worry, baby. I'll just use my whip instead.
Yeah, I'll see what I can get off
did
with.
you say?
Just the
You just I didn't understand.
I mean that very much fits with her delirium. You don't have to understand her.
Okay.
Yeah. I think what's there is like the metal head of the hull. On the shelf somewhere.
Yeah, so I'll use like the teeth of the hull that was lying around and scrape it off with the skull.
Yeah, I think this is you committing violence to the coating.
Okay.
Coating, die.
Well, that went great.
Destroy. Okay, lovely. So not only does the danger come true, the goal fails and the opportunity is lost until circumstances change. So yeah, you start scraping it off, and yeah, I think what happens is that you draw blood because it hasn't like solidified yet, and the metal just carves into the flesh. And what also happens, because the opportunity is lost, is that the coating hardens around the skull and like onto the teeth of it. So it just kind of looks like you've been bitten by a hull, and its head is just like attached to your arm. But yeah, this is definitely suffering harm. This is you being cut. Fixing. So like, now it's like your arm is bleeding, and there's like a metal piece attached to it. So make that harm move.
What do I do?
You just roll like normal. Roll 2d6.
And as I'm doing it, as it, fails to work, I'm like, well, that could have gone a bit better.
Okay, so a 1 and a 5 means that you can either. The danger is incapacitation from harm. Basically means that you're going to bleed until you're like unstable enough so that you can't like function. But you get rid of the coating. You get the coating of the skull off.
Okay.
Or the danger doesn't come true, but the goal isn't achieved.
I mean,
so you don't,
bleeding a bit would probably be not too bad, but I think it would be more fun if you don't get off the coating and then.
Okay. Yeah. So you're not incapacitated, but the thing is still stuck to your arm.
Yeah. No, my precious blood alcohol. It's leaking out.
Okay. Yes. Now you just have this hardened glove on your left arm, and there's like hull head attached to it.
Well,
lovely.
This might come in handy at some point.
If you put your head to it.
Yeah.
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 Oh well. Why do we what we do now?
Well, let's find the stash and get the hell out of here. This whole mission is kind of FUBAR.
Yes, Vixen. Where did you hide the stash?
It's all right here. I put my finger on my bottle and my belly.
Great. Well,
Kyle, you're always so much fun. I like fun. Fun's good. And then she turns to the water, pretends to, or
Whoa,
like
no.
goes into drink again. I imagine she gets pulled back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know,
If you want
I'm not
to
actually
drink
calm about it. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah. I'm like, if you want to drink anything, take this.
Oh, thank you. She takes a swallow. She spits it out immediately. This isn't water.
There ain't water either.
Better that water
and this
than
has
the
a
other.
smaller chance of killing you than this one. So.
Okay, and then she leans her head on Coyle's shoulder and she just kind of falls asleep.
Okay. So yeah, I'll hold Demon up as we go. But I'm feeling the pressure to get the stuff and get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that probably the best way to find out like, where the stash has been hidden, or where the like the safe is like safe place where the things you're looking for is hidden in, would be to listen for echoes.
Okay.
Unless you want to like physically search the entire building.
Sure. I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay. Yeah. So the goal here is to find the safe, and the danger would have been to attract the attention of one or more wraiths, but you rolled a 5 and a 6.
So yeah, I think
so.
With one arm holding up Demon, the other I've got the device out and it beep 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 beep. Aha.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think what we see from this, like as your device starts beeping and going off, is we see like the fog kind of like folding on itself, and we start to see like other things that have happened in this house. I think we see them like in reverse. We see like occasional movements of Singh performing experiments. We see. We think who is like still in the shroud at this point? Like who is alive? I mean, we probably see Ruby once or twice.
Ruby, yeah.
But like not too often. Like maybe we get like a moment of her once. As she, I think, like, she was probably here like on the day that like, he opened this place, and then like maybe came back once when something happened to either like a part of the shroud or a demon that they work with. But eventually you manage to like navigate. I think it's kind of like the end bit of Interstellar, where we sort of like navigate the time stream of events. We just see like moment to moment, and you eventually find a spot where Singh there's a particular bottle on a shelf that he like lifts up and places on somewhere else on the shelf, and we hear like weights changing, and the gears grinding in the wall somewhere, and a part of the wall slides open to reveal the door. And maybe we see Coil like doing the same thing as the echo is unfolding. So yeah, with that we see the echoing stops, and we stand before an open door leading into, I think, what's probably like a very dark room from here. I don't think we see into the room just yet. But this secret space has slid open.
Bedroom. I think like demon stumbles and then like goes down, like very shakily moves down to the ground on all fours, crawls into the dark room and curls up on the floor.
Okay.
I mean, she stays like this.
She's probably not gonna do very much harm. Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, already got tied me up a little.
Do you need some help with the lantern, Vixen?
With what?
The torch?
Torch.
Oh. It's gonna be. I mean, sure, why not?
Alright. So I'll like stick it in and try.
I take my bottle in the meantime and drink more of it.
So I'll stick the torch in and look around.
Okay, yeah, I think you stick the torch in, and as the light falls in here, we see it dances on strange glass tubes. It keeps in this space, and there's like a particular smell that hits you like right away as you come in here. I don't think Demon can tell because she's like so low to the ground, but definitely up here you can still like the strong fume of. Well, it's hard to tell. Like it might be like a spice of some kind, or some obscure chemical, but definitely not something that you'd see like even on like a normal alchemist. So, like as we like see the core like raising the torch to cast light on the entire room, and I think. Like if we were to go here in the real world of Duskworld, it wouldn't look like too spectacular. Like it's just like a secret laboratory. But here in the ghost field is where Sin keeps a bunch of his secrets. So the information here, like what he wants to find out, what he keeps to himself here. Is knowledge in a sense that's materialized in, I think, probably in the form of papers, in form of writing, but I think it's also sort of manifested as music in a sense. I think there's an instrument here that plays a song.
Is it bagpipes?
It's probably bagpipe, yeah. There it is. you hear the music.
Yeah, whenever the bagpipes go particularly loud, you see like Demon like thrashing as if she's having bad dreams. Maybe something about no liquefying.
Yeah, so an astral set of bagpipes resting on like a pile of papers here. And I think there's a bit of a shimmer to it. There's a bit of like a slight. I think it's like a greenish shimmer in the same color as the fog. And those of you who have been doing this for a while know that this signifies an object that only exists in the ghost field. This is like, special and particular, and because of that, it's valuable.
Wow.
Yeah, you managed to find what you're looking for.
Nice. So, how we take it and get out of here with everyone intact? Well, as intact as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, that smell, I'm 65% sure that it's not poisonous, but only about 30% sure that it's safe.
Yeah, but I think this falls under infiltrating or stealing and like getting out of the place safely. But I want to know how do you plan to get out? Do you want to carry like the bagpipes and the writing through the sewers, or do you go through the front door, or what's the plan? If you just want to like leave.
I think backtracking the way we came is probably safer, because that way we don't run into the front door trap.
Yeah.
On the other hand, somebody with a lot of burns and stuff like that, would you really want to take a person like that through sewers? I don't know.
Not an ideal situation.
I mean,
I realize
if you
that.
could carry her...
I mean, I suggest we go for the front door trap just because we haven't had it, you know.
Yeah.
All right.
Just to see where it is.
Yeah. It's always good to be informed.
I just try to find a reasonable argument to go for the front door trap.
I mean, maybe it's just shorter. Maybe we can just see the front door just there.
Yeah, I think the front door is definitely more accessible, and I think you planned to go this route initially. You didn't plan to go through the sewers, so if you go, like, if you leave the place from like ground level, you know how to get back to your boat quickly. If you went into the sewers, you'd have to like navigate back through the city that way. Yeah. One option that you can take is to execute this field.
And into the demons.
Yeah, into demons. If you feel like that's
I don't know about that.
It's an option.
I mean, that'd be its own version of interesting, I suppose. But if the entrance is close towards our boat, we probably, we should do that.
All right.
Okay. Yes, your plan is to like leave through the exit without getting trapped. So I think this is another one of those 3 dice rolls. There's the extra danger of the traps, but there's also the danger of being caught. So whoever wants to make the escape roll, whoever feels like they're taking charge of the departure.
I mean, I'm not taking charge of anything right now.
I'll go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Well,
so your goal is to get out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
The one danger is to be noticed, to be caught in the act, and one danger is the traps. You can assign those as you please.
Okay. I think this time, how about not noticed? We don't get out yet, and partial on the trap.
Okay, so let's see. So there's let's. I'm gonna just write these out real quick. Go escape.
No escape.
Danger. Spotted. Danger. Traps. Okay, so which one do you put where?
Okay.
You have the 1, the 3, and the 5.
Okay. Not spotted, or not spotted. The 5 there. The 3 on the trap, and the 1 on escape.
Okay, so no one knows that you're there yet, or at least the thing doesn't know. But you're definitely not getting out this way, and you're also exposed to the trap. So the danger of the trap remains. So how does the trap trigger in a way that stops you from getting out the front door?
I think they were doing everything fine, and then Demon happened.
Oh no.
Yeah. So let's see. I'm gonna ask Marker. How would Singh defend himself from being punched in the face?
How would Zink defend himself by being punched in the face?
Yeah.
Like
if Singh was to design a contraption or some sort of potion or alchemical conviction to stop that from happening, how would he go about it?
He would take another approach. He wouldn't dodge it or try to stop the punch. I think he would make his face rubberish, his head rubberish, so it would just bounce up.
Okay, so it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it's just boing.
Okay, yeah. Then I definitely know what happens. I think we see Vixen grabbing the door and opening it to go and leave, and then the door just comes off the wall, and it just loosens from the wall in your grip, and so tumble out of the way, and then it's just like a wooden wall behind you, behind the door. There's just no opening there.
Well, this day just keeps on getting better.
That is something. I did not see that one coming. I did not.
You know that weird geometry might sometimes happens in the ghost field, but this is a bit extraordinary, even for the land of the dead.
Maybe I take another stick of my bottle. No, I still don't get it.
Wow.
You're gonna need a drink for this.
You want some too?
Oh yes, I'm thirsty.
Here, don't spit it out again.
Well, you two try not to get in too much trouble. I'm gonna take a look at the sewer exit, see how that's looking.
Yeah.
I'll go check it out.
Okay, so yeah, so you walk over to the manhole you crawled out of, or the hatch in the floor, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you look down, and most of the pit is still empty. I think there's probably some dripping from the pipes, and now that you're up here, you notice that the pipes aren't really connected to anything. At least not that you can see. They're not attached to the tanks in any way, but somehow they keep dripping from them, or from other places. It's not certain, but they're not connected in that sense.
So the pipes don't go all the way to the tanks that are inside the building, but they are connected to they do go down to the sewers, or
Like the pipes that you see in the in the basement don't seem to connect to the tanks in the lab at all.
Do they seem to connect to anything?
And if they do, that's something that's in the walls. It might be connected to like other buildings.
well,
like you don't see you don't see any pipes up above. Maybe like one or two small ones, but there's definitely like close to 100 in the ceiling of the basement.
Are they big enough for people to go through?
Maybe one or two. So it's an option. If you want to Shawshank your way out of here.
well, it is an option. I have my reservations, but if you two want to try that way rather than just retracing, we can do it.
I mean,
What other options do we have?
I mean, we can just retrace. I don't care.
Okay, well, much as much as further hijinks has a certain appeal, let's stick with the route that didn't kill all of us getting here.
Okay.
So I guess I'll hop down into the sewer first, since since I'm closest to Hale.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the closest. Okay. Yeah, so I think this is you leading the group through dangerous terrain. So this falls under act under pressure, I think.
Okay.
And I don't think the traps are necessarily a danger on the way out. I think you've already triggered the trap that's like in the sewers. So the danger here is simply harm.
Okay. Here we go.
5 and 2. So there's either harm and you all can get out safely, or you're not hurt, but you're stuck in the sewers.
I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I say get out.
Yeah, we all have some harm. You need to get some harm too.
Okay, it's my turn. All right. Okay. Fair enough.
Turn on the harm wheel. Okay, yeah. So you're eventually getting out. Maybe we see the other two climb out first. Like yeah, Vixen climbing out first and like hauling up a demon with him. But yeah, let's have you suffer harm.
All right.
To fight your way through.
Okay. So
Yeah,
I know
this is your goal here is to get through the sewers unharmed, or get through the sewers. I guess this is I think this is fighting your way through the pain.
Okay. So I know what incapacitated looks like. What does uh, uh, what does resisting the danger but failing the goal look like?
I think that just means that you don't. Maybe there's like a moment of like hey, where did Coral go? And then you just don't come out of the sewers.
Nah.
You're not dead,
Okay.
but you're down there somewhere.
Okay. That I find that more interesting. Um, so yeah, like you guys make the final turn, and I go, well, that looks interesting. That I need to investigate. Um,
Yeah,
I'll be right there, and neither of you
it's
hear
totally-
me muttering that I'm gonna go investigate the thing.
Yeah, it's totally like that one of your like gear goes off, and it's like, oh, there's something over here. Here, like it's like beeping, and you have you wander off in a tunnel somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay, and yeah, one other question: who's carrying the bagpipes at this point?
I mean, not me, because I don't think they would have trusted me with them.
Yeah, I mean, I could try.
Well, okay. So there was the bagpipes, and there was there, and some papers.
Yeah, I think the papers. I think.
Okay. So yeah, I was probably carrying the bagpipes because they're more awkward to carry, and neither Demon nor Vixen are in good shape for carrying something awkward.
Yeah, so I would guess then that the Vixen has like one of those like delivery bags full of papers. Okay. So yeah, I think we get that shot up above first. It's like, hey, where's Coil? What's going on? And then I think is when we see a pair of somewhat familiar figures up like on the street up above. And yeah, I think Vixen, you're the more conscious of the two at this point, like, non-delirious. I don't know how well you know Nyx and Venom, but you definitely like recognize them. It's like these are the people that the demon brought with her. They're her friends. And these are the people that abandoned you to the wolves.
Yeah.
Or betrayed you. Hard to tell.
Yeah. I think I will avoid those people. Part because, or actually exclusively because I want everything by myself and not share with them. And they might come to the idea that I need to share, and that would be bad.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, so do you how conscious are you at this point, Demon? How aware of your actions?
I feel like if I saw Venom, and that I would recognize that it was Venom, but that I wouldn't necessarily respond in the smartest way.
Okay.
Because I'm mad at Venom for abandoning us here, and for ruining my dress, and for ruining everything. And I'm gonna like sneak around and stab her in the back. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Yeah, so it sounds like Demon is committing to violence.
Yes.
While let's see. If there's I think it's probably I think it's
acting under pressure, maybe.
I think it's technically like infiltrating. If you're,
I suppose so, yeah.
If Vixen, if you're like ducking into a house somewhere, to hide from them, because I think we come back up in that same alleyway where we got down here earlier. I don't think there's too many places to hide. I think this definitely it technically falls under moving undetected because you don't want them to see you. So let's see. Let's do that first. Let's see Vixen try to get away and see if they see him. So Mark, roll your 2d6.
Yes, I will just do that.
Nice.
Yeah. So you get away and they definitely don't see you. So you're in a house somewhere, and I think that maybe Vixen assumes that like Demon will just go with him, so like he doesn't look back too much, and then we see Demon. You're heading off somewhere else to like, or do you like actually like go in with him to like prepare the ambush?
I mean, like, what I do is, as he's sneaking around, like, he sneaks around and keeps going. I sneak around and turn back.
Okay.
And try to stab them. You know, try to stab Venom from behind. Try to just stick my dagger between her ribs.
Okay. Yeah, this is definitely committing to violence.
I mean, I am committing to that violence. 6.
A 1 and a 3. So it's either the danger of unwanted harm comes true, or
I mean,
the goal fails and the opportunity is lost.
I mean, I totally suffer the harm and partially stick my dagger between her ribs because that woman is gonna have it.
See,
she's ruined enough in my life. Not also my dress. This dress is important.
It might not be you that suffers the harm. How do you feel about Nyx?
I mean, Nyx is okay. She's nice.
I think that she really cares about Venom. You know.
Oh,
there's something. It's
not
like
Nyx.
Like they kind of understand each other. You know. Like I think I don't know what's up with them, but I think they share a history somewhere. Like that they just understand each other. So I think the unwanted harm in this case, the danger, is that Nyx is going to try and stop you from stabbing Venom, and in the process gets hurt herself.
Silly girl.
So I think with that, I mean you're committing murder.
Well, I mean, I only partially murder her.
Yeah, you're not committing murder to Venom.
Oh, I'm committing murder to Nyx. Fair enough.
Yeah, so I think we get that shot of like the stab going in, and like maybe like a flicker of like success on Demon's face. But then we realize that it's not Venom that you've stabbed. It's Nyx, and like, we see the Demon like turns a bit. I don't think she even notices it first.
Especially because of her delirium, she might just be stabbing for a while and then realize, oh shit.
Yeah, I think it might even be one of those cases where like you don't even realize that it's Nyx you're stabbing. Like you just go up to one of them and it says, and you're not stabbing Demon. You're not stabbing.
I mean, I partially
Venom.
stabbed Venom, right? Because I have a 3 where I partially succeed.
Yeah.
Well, one of the obstacles is out of the way.
Yeah, I don't think her harm is physical.
Okay, fair enough. I can see that. See that.
So yeah, we see the like delirious stabbing for a bit, and maybe we hear a bit of demonic laughter. And then it just turns to like Venom looking around, and then just shock and grief on her face, and quickly turning to anger as Nyx is bleeding out on the street. So Coil, what are you doing? What have you found?
So I imagine it's some sort of uh, supernatural phenomena that we didn't notice on the way in.
Mhm.
Um, maybe uh, maybe it's like a tank, and within it something's there's something swimming around, but it's of a color I've never seen before.
Mm-hmm. Like some kind of color out of space.
Yes. I'm just fascinated by it, and like, uh, I'll like pull out a probe and kind of like open the top of the tank slightly and try and poke at it, and like try and get some readings. I'm just fascinated.
Okay. Yeah, I think if you want to learn anything from it, you're gonna have to channel the ghost field. Like with this is like your tools doing their thing. Like you dive into the paranormalness of this world.
That sounds fair.
Yeah, so the danger is the paranormal backlash. And we have that lovely 1 in the 3 again.
Whee! Well, let's have some paranormal backlash, that's for sure. And but I get some information, I guess.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see what that might be. Okay, I think you're definitely gonna find out what this is. It's painful. It hurts a lot. It's definitely not meant to be seen by humans. And as to why it's in the tank, or why this thing exists down here in the sewers, I think this might be just be personified as being fresh in my mind, but I think the sewers are sort of influenced by like the collective dead of the city. Like this is where like all the things that the dead would rather like reject and like forget about and like repress end up. This is like the metaphorical sewers. So I think this symbolizes something. I think this in a way symbolizes. I think this is a thing of betrayal that has like manifested itself in this tank. Yeah. And it's something that's grown over time. I think it might even be. I think it's born of the shroud for sure. Like born of all the plans we made towards each other, like trying to compete for leadership, and for like all the people we killed in the process. Like this nature of like trying to be the best and being willing and able to sacrifice like an entire district for that. I think some part of that, some like shard of that, of being exposed to that, has been trapped in this tank. And at first, I think it looks like a tiny little shark. It looks like a tiny little shark. But then it sort of like as you like poke around in the tank, and so suddenly you hear like the beeping from your gear goes off, and it just goes to 11. And as the shark like crashes its way through the tank, and you realize that it's not a shark at all, but it's a woman that looks an awful lot like a shark.
Ah.
And she's not really a person, but she has the shark's teeth, and there's many of them. And not too many people outside of the shroud have seen Daenerys in the flesh. At least not too many living people. but you've stumbled upon one of her many little shrines that have been erected in Demon Town now. In this ghost field, it manifests as a keeper of secrets, as a tank. But yeah, you stand in the face of a god.
Well,
And I think you're just kind of awestruck by it, like even like, through your normal like calmness and like again, this is like okay, wow. And like I don't know if you've seen the latest Game of Thrones episode, but it's definitely a character that reacts in this fashion. Like this is the first time I'm terrified of something.
oh yes. Oh. Well, that's not what I was expecting.
Oh, don't worry, I get that a lot.
Well,
how have you found your way here, little one?
well,
I think
Look-
suddenly you feel her hand on your cheek, but you didn't like notice that she put it there. It's just there now.
let's just say that while this is definitely the weirdest part of my day so far, it's not the worst part.
Fair enough.
An optimist in the city. I was starting to worry you'd all been killed by now.
Well,
How do you feel? And I think she like jumps up on the tank at this point. And kind of like sits down, waggles her legs.
I guess that depends on whether you want to add me to the death toll.
Oh, well. I think we're in the wrong place to worry about death, don't you think? Everyone here is dead, in a sense.
Sure. I see the what, merit in that perspective.
See, being dead is not so bad. Your kind is very good at it.
Yes. Well, you should have seen how things were going earlier.
I've been hearing things. I've been hearing plenty of things.
So, I apologize if I'm being rude. I'm Coil. May I ask your name?
Ah, well, I think you already know my name. Would certainly hope so. Otherwise, my people have not been very effective. You'd say that this is my domain.
Ah. Well, in that case, I apologize for the intrusion. Despite circumstances, it is a pleasure to meet you.
I'm sure. I wish I could say the same.
Oh. Well.
Oh.
But there might be something that you can do for me to make your existence a little more of a pleasure.
Uh-huh.
There is a man in your world. He's been giving me a fair amount of trouble. Doesn't stay where he belongs. I would just like you to maybe take him here for me. Here or one of many other places in in the city like it.
That sounds reasonable. How do I find him?
I believe it's been a little while since I've had an eye on him, but my people tell me that he's hiding out in a small alchemist's shop by the rail station. His name is William.
I'll take a look.
Very good. Then I think I'll have to send you on your way. And I think she puts her hand on your face. And I think we definitely get that same sense that Mark described earlier, but like Singh turning his face into rubber. That sense of like your shape is just being reformed under the weight of her hands, and you feel like something is like stretching. And as she lets go, you're just flung backwards through the passage, and you end up. I think we just see you in darkness for a bit. Like we just see you like zooming through this space, and Vixen, what does the room that you're in look like? Where did you end up, Mark?
I ended up probably I tried to take it to my home and get all this good stuff in there so nobody can take it away. I can probably drink a month's worth from it. Well, 2 weeks. Okay.
I think right now you're more in like the first place you could find here. Like you basically just ducked into a house. So like, what is this room that you've ended up in looks like right now?
Well, what if I ended up in a brothel or something? That would be fun.
Yeah, sure. There definitely would have been like a brothel beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too
You're
many.
still in the ghost field, is what he's saying.
It used to be brothel.
Yeah.
Old drapes hanging down.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of those like long and like brightly colored drapes. We see this. We get into this like very large room with this. I think imagine this place with like lots of floors, and there's balconies to like rooms above. And we just see you in this large room, and like I think maybe for a moment everything is coming up next, and like, everything just seems nice for a little bit. And then you realize the demon isn't there. Like she was here like a moment ago, and then before you can like really like put that together, there's like a tumbling. I think one of the drapes comes down, like he just falls off the ceiling, and it sort of tumbles into a pile. Coil, it's very dark where you are, but you're feeling. It looks like you have something like purple draped over you. There's like some sort of like very heavy cloth. It's like it's covering you.
I'll reach for it.
Yeah, it might be a bit sticky, but it's there. It's definitely like physical.
Try and like clear my eyes and at it, or
Yeah, I think after a little while, Vixen, you see Coil's head emerge from like this pile of cloth, from this drape that just kind of fell down. So you have Coil in a pile of drapes in front of you, and Demon is missing. What do you do?
Who needs Demon anyway, right?
While you're deciding, sorry, go ahead.
First I leave all this stuff here hidden, and then
leave the bag somewhere.
Yeah, all here in here, like nobody will see it, and then I'll look for her. Try to hope that she didn't do anything too drastically, like stabbing people or something. Who would do that? Nobody would do that.
Nobody in their right mind would do that.
Very true. Okay. Do you leave Coil to be? Do you assume that he? Well, okay, I found Coil. Nice.
Vixen, before you go, I have a question for you, and I would appreciate it if you don't humor me on this one. Just give it to me straight. Is my face still attached?
No. And I just go.
Good dear.
Okay, yeah, so outside. Yeah, I think. Yeah, Vixen, I think Vixen, you see this. You see this unfold. I think as you're like heading back out, you hear just a scream. And what you can definitely pick out is the sound of repeated stabbing. I think you've been around that enough to know the sound by now. So as you come out, there's like a full-on fight that's erupted between Demon and Venom, and Nyx is on the street, her blood spilling out on the cobblestone. What do you do?
All right. Time out. Stop. No. Stop doing that.
They're not listening. At least I'm not.
Yeah, Venom is not listening.
I put my bottle and do a movement like I want to throw it, then look, that's my bottle, put it away, and look for something else to throw.
Yeah, you can probably find like a brick or something.
Yeah. I just throw it in there, hope that's I like like something lighter, probably not a brick.
There's probably like a roof pan or something. Like something has come off, like a piece of the roof. You can just toss in there.
No, I don't want to put. I don't really want to hurt anybody. I just want to,
get their attention.
Yeah.
I think even if you get their attention, like even if you get her attention, she's not gonna stop. This girl, it's her or me. I mean,
how should I know?
You can probably throw your coat in there if you were holding that earlier.
Oh right, yeah, can do that.
Yeah, or like your jacket. You can just toss that into the mix.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, I think that's acting under pressure. So, what's your goal here?
I want to stop the fight.
Okay. Yeah, and the danger is that you suffer harm.
Huh.
The lovely 3-in-1 combination.
Where have we seen that before?
Ah.
I think I want the danger partially coming true, and the result fails and the opportunity is lost.
Okay, so yeah, I think what happens is that you get pulled into the fight by this. Yeah, we see you like throwing the coat in, and like while you're holding it, to let it go, Venom just grabs like the other sleeve and like pulls you into the fight. So we see like a full on brawl like between the three of you, and like I think you're just kind of caught in the middle.
Yeah, I tried.
You're standing in between, and we're like
Wait,
stabbing
stop,
around you.
time out. If you want to kill yourselves, please let me out beforehand.
Yeah, you hear like Demon doesn't move aside, but she's just like, get out of my way! I want to kill her.
Okay. Yeah. So I think.
But why though?
Yeah. So I think this.
She
this
ruined my dress.
Yeah, this is the time when Demon commits to violence, and I think Vixen probably suffers some harm.
God damn it.
Just because of just being in the fight. So why don't you commit to violence first, Demon?
Okay. Sorry, I thought you said Venom.
Yeah, so yes, your goal here is to kill Venom.
Ooh.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, so with 2 5s, you achieve your goal, and you're not hurt from it. You're not further subjecting yourself to harm.
Sweet. And then
Yeah, so what's that look like when you finally get the killing blow on her?
I think I probably literally climb on top of Vixen to get to her, and then I just like jump down from him and just stab it in her with a look of satisfaction on my face.
Yeah, we get the jumping kill.
Mm-hmm.
So you stab it into her, and yeah, I think with that, Vixen, you sort of like just stumble your way out to the fight. Your coat still in one hand. you just kind of get out on the other side, and then you see Demon on the street there with bloody dagger in hand, and 2 bodies at her feet. So, do we want to talk about what happens when you die in the ghost field?
No, we shouldn't talk about that. It doesn't bear mentioning.
Okay.
Well, but I mean, I'm kidding.
Yeah, we don't have to. We can just leave that.
I mean, maybe your hand, your soul ends up in the hands of the demons, and that's how, like, under demons are born.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was thinking definitely the bell still goes off. And
yeah, because like the problem that Dustball is facing is that the ghosts don't leave. Like the dead just like stay there. So what happens when they die on this side? Do they just disappear like they're supposed to?
I don't know. Maybe the bell going off in these circumstances is more like the dinner bell going off. Like, oh, there's new food for the demons, and anytime it goes off, they're on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Except that we don't necessarily know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, maybe ghosts are demon snacks, and the ghosts have kept themselves alive by hiding in the ghost field where the demons can't come.
Maybe it might be so. Because I think what we see, like as they're like bleeding out, we see this faint blue shimmer come out of their wounds, and I think for a moment maybe we see like their shapes in this shimmer, Like this is some sort of essence or soul. This is the sort of thing that would be harvested within ectoplasm. It's like the core being, like the essence of the soul. And this thing escapes the flesh, and now that it's on this side of the ghost field, it can do what it's supposed to do. So I think we see that like drift off into the sky and like past a few clouds, past the eternal dark skies of Duskwall, into whatever lies beyond. And then the two of them are dead.
So, as I walk out, if it's okay to walk out at this point,
Yeah.
I'll just turn and say, "Oh, demon, remind me not to get on your bad side."
I think she's sobered up a little by now,
Mm-hmm.
and she says, "Yeah, I will."
So I hate to ask this, but on our way out, you two mind if we do a quick errand on the way? Just go by the rail station.
Yeah. So, about that, out of character, I would like to suggest that maybe we call it here, because we're 25 minutes before session end, and with the shout out and such.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this probably might be like a good send-off scene. Like let's get back. Oh, and by the way, I have another job for us.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Come to think of it, we can maybe do it later. Like,
I mean, I'm gonna get myself some good bath and ointments and such, and after that, if it's lucrative, we can talk.
Fair enough.
I need to get drunk soon. Otherwise, this day is lost.
Yeah, so maybe we get a shot of the three of you like walking down the street as we like. Yeah, we get that last line of like, okay, yeah, let's go and get drunk, then like, we have another job.
Yeah.
And
and you were saying that my face wasn't attached? As like a last line.
Yeah. I don't think we've like seen Coil's face at this point either.
It's just always out of out of view.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we don't know the nature of Coil's face at this point. So yeah, I think probably like the last thing we see is we pan up over Duskwall and we catch up with the two like spirits wandering through the clouds as I think we zoom out when we go much further beyond. We start seeing like the whole island of Akaros at first, like somewhat through the clouds. Then we see the isles themselves, and then we break through, and we see the darkened skies of the world Elysium, where this whole thing takes place. It's just looks like a storm struck over an island as these little essences head further off. The camera turns around and we see the white light of a small but dying star off in the distance. And we'll catch up with that in the future.
Cool.
I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to decide whether I want to play like a small, like cute robot. You know, the little robot thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or whether I want to play more like a butler style robot who pretends to not have feelings, but because I'm a robot, I can't have feelings, but then always like brushes away and oil leak, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's cute either way.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. Oh, so
Good,
thanks, Kala. That was awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to all of you for making this happen. I was having my doubts about the system after the first hour, but I think once we got into it, it felt a lot smoother.
Yeah, the system doesn't really help you run it.
No, not a lot. But I think like, once I get the hang of like reading the results and making sense of like how the fiction flows from what we're doing and what we're talking about.
It's nice if you just want to run something spontaneously without,
without teaching people how to roleplay.
Yeah.
But even then, like as a GM, you need to feel comfortable with the system, because else it just becomes a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
And I think you can actually use it almost universally. You don't have to use it for.
Yeah, what I've used before when I just I'm making this dungeon crawl with somebody, and where it's supposed to be more like a mystery puzzle style dungeon, and we're taking turns making bits and then like running the other through it. And for that, I've just been using something very similar, but it's just 1d6, and like a 1 and 2 is failure, 3 and a 4 is partial success, and 5 and a 6 is a success. Then you don't have the problem that there's 2 dice, but the 2 dice thing, if you can manage it well, I think has the advantage that the player has much more control over their situation, which is nice, because in the the 2 and the 3 thing, it's much it's a bit more punishing than the standard systems that give you those chances, but at a plus something if you're good at it.
Yeah, the success distribution is really brutal. Like, I mean,
yeah, but with the partial success, it usually still feels okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely like the goal and danger like separation. At least in like the way.
Yeah, the problem is that goals and dangers are generally opposite of each other. The goal is to get away from the danger, and then what if you succeed at one and fail the other?
Yeah, I think that comes part of like learning how to like approach that is to make a goal that's not just get away from the danger.
Maybe.
Because that's like handled by something else.
Yeah. Although it kind of implies, yes, you get away from that danger, but then there's the next one you fall into as a consequence.
Yeah.
Which, just lets
so
the
like,
whole thing.
For instance, I think like the way we ended up handling that first roll was, for instance, was fine. Like you're safe from the danger of the hounds, but you don't like the goal that we set like by itself was fine, but I don't think it fits very well with like the spirit of the game in that sense. Like I think like climbing up onto a roof by itself is fine, but it's not necessarily like meaningful in that sense.
Yeah, no. Like the overall goal should have been to get away from the hounds.
Yeah, or like I think the good goal would have been to like get to the destination, or like get to some place where we can like map out a path, like achieve something separate from just getting away.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's kind of part of what you have to learn from like both like as a GM and the player, like figuring out how to phrase goals to make them make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's a thing.
Yeah, it's a learned ability, and definitely something that I'll be taking with me if I end up running this game again.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very easy game to roll, to play just on the go.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah.
It's basically Apocalypse World light in a specific setting.
Yeah, I could see running this with a whole lot, with a bunch of different situations. Like I mentioned Baby Driver earlier. I think it's a very good fit for like that type of story. And if you haven't seen that movie, you should go see it. It's wonderful.
So did this come out between Lady Blackbird and Blades, or was it before Blackbird? Or
I'm gonna try and find that. Let's see. Jan Harper, Ghost Echo. Because let's see. Because the PDF itself says 02/1909 on it, which I would guess is probably February 19th, 2009, more so than September 19th, 2002, just because of how the dates work out. Let's see. But I know that John has worked on Blades for a long time. I know that this is like something that's been on his mind for a while. But I don't quite know when it came out. Like how it fits into the greater timeline of things. I think it's definitely in that like same era.
Anyway, could we wrap it up? Because I have
for sure.
Visitor and
he doesn't mind.
So
he's probably glad that he doesn't have to endure me all the time.
So sure. Does anybody have any shout-outs?
I don't.
Not really.
Okay. Well, thanks again, everybody.
Thank you.
I will be back maybe on Saturday for Hacking Infinity, but failing that, definitely on Sunday for more of Storm Giant Shotgun. That'd be at 4 p.m. Pacific, and then with luck, we'll be back next week at 9 on Thursday to do sort of a the plan is to do like a setup launch of Blue Sky Vendetta. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll figure out which part of it we want to do next week.
Okay.
But I think the plan is either Lady Blackbird like all together, or to do a microscope to figure out what the bridge is. So like what's been going on in this past time that happens between the campaigns.
Yeah, I think.
So yeah, we can talk about that together.
Yeah, we can talk about that on Discord.
Yeah, during the week to figure out what we want to do.
Cool. Sounds good. Well, have a good one, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.